Going on, Baby Doge Army? So we see right now, Baby Doge is currently in a pullback range as well as Bitcoin. But what is about to come next? And that's what we're going to talk about today when it comes to the overall crypto market beyond Baby Doge. So we're going to talk about whether or not we're going to actually be having some pumps coming in, or are we just going to pull back? Because, like I was saying before, remember, we're pulling back from that 35K that we just now got rejected at. So now we're pulling back from that. But anyways, we're going to talk about this. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, none of this financial advice, but let's talk about this. Now, like I was saying before, if we are to pull back here on the Bitcoin charts, we've already hit 30K, right? We've already hit 35K. Now, the next area after that, we would have to hit 36K. But since we weren't able to pass 35K, the next area for us to pull back to is the support that I was mentioning earlier, around 30 to 31K. So we're going to have to be watching that area, because if we break out of this right here, and I know you can see these indicators, remember these are the chart prime indicators, link in the description if you want the chart prime indicators. But as you can see here, these lines, the little lightly shaded green lines here, they're like supports, right? But they're following it because it's a range motion, right? It's going inside of motion here. And these are our momentum wave bands, the green one and the red one up here. So these are our momentum wave bands. So what we're seeing here, we're pretty much getting rejected here at the top resistance momentum wave bands. And you can see here, we're staying right in tandem with these two green ones, right? And then it dropped down to the next level, right? Well, what's the next level after that? Well, this one right here that's actually starting to form up, you can see it right there. It's actually starting to form up right there. So it's very, very lightly shaded, but it's forming up as another support here. So you're going to see it dropping down to this next wave. So that could end up bringing us to about 33K. So I think we might see that coming up next inside of Bitcoin. And if it breaks that, then obviously we can go down here to the green momentum wave band, as well as our Fibonacci retracement, as well as the support that we have created inside of our last previous run-ups, because those were our resistance levels in our last previous run-ups. There were major areas where people would either buy a lot, you could see major increase of volume and major increase of everything else. So first, if I go over here and let me first take off all these indicators just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here with the volume. We'll get everything back. So if you look at here, the volume down here at the bottom, you can see how every single time we were at the same level around 31K, we had increased volume, right? Every single time we're around 30 to 31K, we have increased volume, increased buying. You can see on these areas here, increased buying volume. So that's a pretty good telltale sign, because if you look at where we're at now, well, where are we about to drop down to? So let's bring everything back now. So where are we about to drop down to? Well, we're about to drop down to that same area where we always have a lot of volume. So when we drop down there, it could be another run up from here. That's pretty much what I'm saying. We could have another run up here. There could be a lot more buying coming in if we drop back down to that level. Remember last time we were there on October 23rd, there was lots of buying in that area, and now there could be lots of buying here soon as well. But like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, none of this financial advice. If we look at it all the way back here, we can see there was a lot of buying, but then it kind of got stomped out there, and then a lot of selling came after. You can see back here, the same thing happened, lots of buying in that same area, and then as soon as we hit that area, immediately lots of selling. So we could spin the scenario and say this. We could say when it goes down to the support, there's going to be lots of selling, because yeah, there was lots of buying when you look at it from October 23rd. But if you look at it prior to October 23rd, that 31K level used to be lots of selling, which happened here around June 25th all the way up to about July 15th. You can see we had lots of selling. And you can also see back here, April 13th, when we hit that same level, there was lots of selling. So when we hit that same level here, again, if we pull back down here and hit that same level, will we get buying or selling? Will we recreate the October 23rd high here, where we had lots of buying and then have more buying? Or will we recreate our previous levels and have lots of selling and going down to the next Fibonacci and the next support like we did prior, which would be going down to 28K? So that's a very, very good question that we have to ask here. And, like I said, we're just asking the question here because there's always two scenarios that are possible, right? Up or down. But what we're really looking for here is what is the level that that decision is going to be made at, right? Whether it goes up or down. I like to know when when is it going to happen, right? We know something's going to happen. We can never predict 100% what it's going to be, but we can predict when it happens. So that's why I'm watching here. And that's the whole point of technical analysis. Anyone who tells you they're doing a technical analysis to predict the price, like, no, you can't do that. You can predict the direction, right? But you can't predict, like, whether or not it's gonna go crazy or not. Like, you just can't predict that at times. But anyways, what we are watching for here is going back down to this support. So that's what we gotta watch out for. But like I said, I believe it's going to be maybe a pullback here. Like I've been saying it a while here. I think if we go back down here, then we're probably gonna have another pullback going down to 28K. But there's always that possibility though. You have to increase instead of going back down there. But that's all based on volume. Now, if you're looking over here at our RSI, the RSI kind of tells you it differently. The RSI is actually crossing down here at the bottom, which is typically what happens before it pumps. But sometimes what happens is what happened here before. If you look at what happened back here before with the RSI, we actually crossed down here on the RSI, right? But then it went back down. So what it looks like here, we started to go back up, but then it couldn't do it. So it went back down and it crossed back down on the RSI. But then it crossed again and it went back up, and then it was astronomical the way it went up. So could that happen again where we come down here and we cross on the RSI, right? And then we increase, but it's like a bullish fake out and it's like a bull trap, and then it goes back down. So looking something like this, going back up to this little momentum wave level right here, and then going back down from there. So that's, and then from there, obviously, it would go back up. But this is what I'm saying. Like, if this happens again, like what happened back here, that would actually be pretty good because we get to build up momentum. Like, let's say we start to go up, but then we get a bull trap, and then boom, it brings us back down to 31K. But after it brings us back down to 31K, what happens that next time? Like how it happened here, it could go up again, or it could instead go back down again. But there's always that possibility that it can go up. So you always got to mention that. So, anyways, that is definitely all good. And if you look at Baby Doge as well, like you can see Baby Doge hitting this support level right now. Like Baby Doge is kind of following Bitcoin, as you can see. Bitcoin is kind of leveling downwards. You can see Baby Doges as well, and all the other altcoins as well. Look at all the volume here on Baby Doge. You can see that volume right around here, all this area that I'm shading in. You can see all that volume. That's a lot of volume, right? But we're at a very small point in volume right now. So the volume is very small right now. And you can see we've already broken that support here at the Fibonacci here on Baby Doge at 8Z1250. And then we hit this level here at 8Z 1222. And then you can see this little red line here. And again, this is for chart prime. You can see how it lines it up here for you, this little support line. And that's probably where Baby Doge is going to stop again. That's going to be around 8Z 1170. 8Z 1170. Like I said, this is the chart prime indicators. If you want that, link in the description, you can check that out. Well, yeah, we're going to be hitting that support here. And then we have the Fibonacci that I set up here right below that at 8Z1130, because that Fibonacci is an important level. If you look back here, it's always very, very, very important. October 2nd, very important. October 23rd, very important. Same thing with Bitcoin. Remember, Bitcoin, October 23rd was another important day where it had like significant resistance, and then just boom, the second we got past it, it was pumping huge. So we got to watch out for the same levels. You can see here the same Fibonacci here is on the same days for Baby Doge. So that's definitely very important to look at. But anyways, as we do pull back down, you can see we're going down towards 8Z1130 for that Fibonacci, and then we have the momentum wave band down here for Baby Doge at 8Z1085, going all the way down here to the bottom level of 9Z50. So the middle here is 8Z1020, and that's the Fibonacci down there. So pretty much what I'm saying here, we're predicting that we're going down to this support here at first at 8Z1160. And then let's say Bitcoin, does the bull trap thing where it goes down as well. Then Baby Doge is probably going to end up going down to 8Z1130, possibly even further down, because it's probably going to end up touching the momentum wave band down here at the Fibonacci at 8Z1017. So we're probably going to end up seeing it dropping back down there. And then what you can also see is Bitcoin going back down to their momentum wave band as well. And if both of them drop back down to the momentum wave band, the point of the momentum wave band is to build momentum. So when you see something going back down there, momentum is about to be built. You know that it's probably going to increase when it goes back down to that price. It's probably going to have an increase. So that's what we're looking at here. There's a possibility that we have that increase once we go back down to the momentum wave band. But the real question is, does it continue to increase after that, or does it just stop around 33K before actually getting back to where it was once before going back down to the next Fibonacci down to 28K? So that's what we're really watching out for here. Because if that happens on Bitcoin, then what we'll see is for Baby Doge going back down here, the 8Z1017, like how Bitcoin went down to 31K. And then you could see it going back down to the next Fibonacci. But see, the next Fibonacci for Baby Doge is a lot different because it goes all the way down to 9Z6, which I don't see that happening. But 9Z7 is always a possibility with Baby Doge. It just is. But yeah, what we'll have to see, that's if everything goes bad and we just have a huge crash, right? And everything just goes bad, prices just demolish themselves, right? I love giving both scenarios, but you gotta give both of them. But anyways, that's enough of the technicals. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, none of this financial advice. But yeah, definitely check out the link in the description for Chart Prime if you want to go ahead and look up the Chart Prime indicators. Very, very good indicators. Me personally, I scalp the market. I do a lot of futures trading and I scalp the market. If you want to trade with me, you can look at the Patreon link in the description. But I do a lot of scalp trading, and I know you can see all these buy and sell signals, and this is pretty much showing up for Bitcoin's 1 minute chart. But it looks weird, obviously, because I'm not looking at it from the perpetual futures outlook. When you look at it from the futures outlook, a lot more volume is going on here. A lot more is going on. It's so like, look, the indicators are telling me right now, since we're at the top of the momentum wave bands, I want to go ahead and sell right up here. I want to do shorts. So honestly, if I had my Mexi Global up right now, I would actually open up shorts right here. And then I would short the market going down to right there. And this is pretty much what I do all day long. I would short the market and it would go down here. And I kind of want to do it right now, but I'm not going to because we're doing a baby dose video. I'll probably do this on the live stream because the last live streams when we were trading, it was pretty cool. But yeah, this is pretty much the trade that I would take. I would short it going down there, and then when we hit down there, the whole way down, I could probably take profits here, let it go back up, and then it'll go back down here, take some more profits, let it go back up, do that, and then I would probably work my way down. And you can see how Chart Prime does this, right? You can see how they do that with all of those uh different lines here, all these different support lines that are important. Just like I take profits all the way up, I take profits all the way down too. So I open up longs here, but then I notice every single time we get to one of these little lines, it stops for a second and then it drops just for a brief moment and then it goes again. So I like to do that when I'm doing my trading. But yeah, if you want to trade with me, definitely check out the link in the description for the crypto millionaires trading Patreon trading group. But yeah, check that out. And if you want these automated trading indicators, definitely check out the Chart Prime link in the description. But moving on from the trading stuff, we're going to be looking more so at Baby Doge specifically because they've been doing a lot of new stuff with Baby Doge Swap. They have down 2% right now in the last 24 hours. So we are down $1.6 million in the last 24 hours. So that's fairly decent. 2.4% up in the last 7 days. That's decent. 14 days, 5.7%, 30 days, 21.6%. So we still kept some of the gains that we had when we went from 99 all the way up to where we are now. So we still kept some of those gains, which is good because we just pull back and then that's when we start to build momentum back up, right? It's looking like 8Z1160 is that level for Baby Doge. But like I said, we'll have to see. But moving on from that, Baby Doge holders from 1,777,672 to 2 weeks ago, we only had 1,774,651. So we got about 3,000 holders within the time span of 2 weeks. So yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Shout out to the Baby Doge Army. And as for the Baby Doge swap thing I was mentioning earlier, they're doing a lot of different things here with Baby Doge swap. But right now they have a Baby Doge Maxi contest. So just to see how much of a Baby Doge Maxi you are, we have people wrapping their trucks inside of Baby Doge, Baby Doge attire. We have people putting Baby Doge on their fingernails. We have a lot of Baby Doge Maxi stuff, and they're doing a $2,000 contest. So you can go ahead and check that out. And then as for everything else, we see that they're putting a lot of new farms onto Baby Doge Swap. This is something called GPad that they just added. They just added something called BNB Whales. They just added another thing called Paul Star Coin. So I don't know any of these coins. They're all fairly new coins. But yeah, they just now added a bunch of new coins here. You can see the liquidity increased by a little bit with the new coins that got added. So that helped out a little bit. Went from about $2.65 million in liquidity to about 2.81 million. So we got about $200,000 in there because of the new farms that they've been adding. So I guess that's a pretty good aspect there. A little bit over $200,000, but also, we can see that the volumes increased by a little bit as well. Good burns, 4.2K burns in the last 24 hours. And as for the farms that they've added, you can see here the new farms. So one of them already has $2,600. One has 11K. Another has 11K. Another has 10K. Another has 44K. So you can see a lot of these new farms. Some people have been putting some money in on there. I still want to see the core farms back. I still want to see us bringing back the core farms, like the main core farms, like the core farms where we earned baby doge for farming and staking. That's what we need to see. We still need to see that. But anyways, big shout out to the baby doge army, the baby doge team, and the developers out there. But anyways, yeah, if you guys like the video, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. If you want the automated trading indicators, check out chartprime.com. And then you can also check out the Patreon if you want to join our trading group as well. And I usually trade with Mexi Global. So if you want to sign up for Mexi Global, you can do it through that link as well, because that's usually what I trade through there. And yeah, you can go ahead and check that out. And as always, I'll be back with another video.